NAWBO South Jersey is pleased and honored to present to you today the award recipient for the Nonprofit Company of the Year, Rhonda Erkowitz, who is the Executive Director. Rhonda, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we want to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do and all of the challenges that you face. So what do you think is the most important accomplishment of Cross County Connection?
Well, I think Cross County Connection has accomplished a lot over our 30 years. And we provide transportation services to people who don't have a means to get to work primarily. And I think the pandemic really showcased our abilities, and I'm really proud of the way our staff was able to convert some of our programs to meet the needs of our residents and employees of South Jersey who don't have transportation. We were actually able to use our shuttles as social services resources on wheels for people. We used our shuttle program to let people know about the location of food banks, jobs that were available during the pandemic, as well as location of vaccination sites. So that was one of our major accomplishments that I'm extremely proud of our staff for doing.
So Cross County Connection must have had a really great year during the pandemic because those services were really needed.
We did, and that's true. We were very fortunate in that our funding stayed intact. We were funded primarily through state and federal grants, and our funders realized the importance of the transportation services that we provide, especially during hard times with so many people becoming disadvantaged.
So as a leader, what values or business ethics are most important to you?
I think the most important thing is integrity and honesty.
Can't get enough of that.
No, you can't get enough of that, and especially in the times that we're dealing with now, we need more of that. And I'm very appreciative of my team. My staff has only the best interest of our communities in mind. They just have great hearts.
How do you keep them motivated?
We all work very closely as a team, and I feel that they're working for a nonprofit, which means we don't make a lot of money. So right there, you realize that people are coming to you because they believe in your mission. And we work together as a team. I don't believe in a top-down approach. I like to work with my team, be part of the process. I try to keep them involved in the entire project rather than just having them work on one little niche. Like I don't have my task work on task one and then they go on to another project. I try to get everybody familiar with the entire program so they know what
that makes sense. Everybody feels like they have a really good stake in the mission.
Right.
So what made you get into this type of work in the nonprofit sector?
Years ago when I was in college, I was in Washington, D.C. at George Washington University, and I was a freshman and I was looking for a major because I was told you have to have a major. And it was my first experience in the city. I grew up in Cherry Hill, so I was a suburban girl. First experience in the city, and
How much fun was that being there at that time?
It was fantastic. It was a great time, and just being out on my own, coming from the suburbs of New Jersey, I didn't have my own transportation. I relied on my parents to drive me. But in Washington, D.C., just like in Philadelphia, there's public transit, so I was free. I could go wherever I wanted to go. And I realized that there's a lot of people who don't have that opportunity. So I just fell into public transit planning and land use planning, and here I am today.
The universe came and swept you away into the nonprofit world.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yes.
So what do you think is one of the biggest challenges for a woman in business today?
I think women in business they challenge themselves to do it all. I mean, we all have this feeling that we don't need to ask for help. We can do it on our own. We can multitask.
That's kind of like a man not asking for directions.
Exactly. It's exactly like that. And women have to overcome that. We all have to realize that there are other women who can serve as our mentors, that when we're facing a challenge, it's not insurmountable. You just need to seek out the right people to help you.
That's
good
advice.
You have to ask for help.
That's good advice. So is there anyone that you'd like to thank for your accomplishments or for giving you a hand up in life? Because we all need a hand up. Is there anybody you'd like to acknowledge tonight?
I think my family, growing up, my parents, they gave me the opportunity to explore what I was interested in. They did not want me living in Washington, D.C. in an urban environment, yet they let me go and they let me explore.
So what is one recommendation that you would give to a young entrepreneur starting out in business today or starting their own company? What's one recommendation you would have for them?
I would recommend that they stay true to themselves, that if there's something that they believe in, that they go for it, work hard, seek assistance, seek mentors. If there's something that you truly want to accomplish, I think anybody can accomplish that. It's just you have to be willing to reach out and do problem solving, find solutions, and find people to work with.
So Rhonda, we're going to ask you a few fun questions now. We want to know a little bit more about you personally.
Okay.
Who takes the trash out in your home?
Oh, my husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Would you?
Although I bring the trash cans in sometimes.
You bring the trash
Yes.
cans in?
I do.
Women are always multitasking all the time. What's your least favorite thing to do in your house that you really need to do all the time, but you hate to do it?
Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping.
Top of my list of dislikes.
Why?
I don't like taking the time. I don't like running around in the supermarket. I'm always busy, and I just feel like it's not something I want to do right now.
So who cooks dinner at home? Do you eat out? Do you order in? Are you a junk food junkie? Like, what do you do?
All of the above. My husband and I do take turns cooking, but we eat out a lot, especially on the weekends. We treat ourselves. Saturday night, we always go out. Lately, we've been doing takeout, bringing it home, but we will cook a few times a week.
So when you were a little girl on the playground, were you the organizer of the games, or were you a bystander waiting to be asked to play? And how does that translate into your leadership role today?
I was the bystander waiting to be asked to play. I was also known as a bookworm, always had a book in my hand. My sister still teases me about that. But I think I grew out of that when I went to college. I realized that if I wanted to accomplish what I wanted, I needed to be more assertive. And that's how I eventually grew into leadership roles throughout my career.
That's really interesting, and I think it's a great example of how people have so much growth during their life. Let's see, who's your celebrity crush?
I don't
Don't
think
say
I have
George Clooney because he's mine.
I don't think I have one.
You don't have one?
No, I don't.
So who, if there was one celebrity that you could have dinner with, who would that be? Anywhere in the world?
I would probably want to meet with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I really admire her, not only as in her role as a Supreme Court Justice, but I admire her tenacity and the way she was brought up and how she kind of came through the ranks in an era that was very male-dominated in the legal field. She was an advocate for women's rights when it was not a popular thing to be. And her perseverance and tenacity have always been traits that I really admire.
I think every woman in this room could relate to that statement.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Rhonda, for being here, and congratulations on the award. And it's obvious that as a leader, you're doing a great job, and we appreciate you joining us this evening.
Thank you. We're very honored by the award from NAWBO, and we really appreciate the recognition. As a small organization, we're not often recognized for our accomplishments, and it's just a great boost to us to be honored in this way. So thank you.
You're welcome.